Happy February, fire signs. I hope you guys are all doing well. I'm going to go ahead and get started with the zodiac reading for February. But before I begin, I do want to just do a brief overview of the astrology of February and how that's going to be impacting everyone and the influences for this month. If you want to go ahead and skip this, I will post the timestamps for your zodiac signs below, so you can skip ahead to your sign if you wish to do so. So February, we do have a Mercury retrograde coming up, but let's start with on February 3rd, we have Mercury entering Pisces. So when Mercury is in Pisces, Mercury being the planet of thinking and communication and learning, Pisces is very watery, very empathic, very intuitive, very artistic and creative and spiritual. So when Mercury is in Pisces, our communication tends to center more around the need for human connection, to connect on an authentic level. We may be more compassionate and empathetic than usual. Our thoughts may be less clear and focused and logical with Mercury in Pisces. We may be more intuitive, so definitely heightened intuition with this influence. We've got Venus entering Aries on the 7th. So Venus being the planet of love as well as money. Aries is very go-getter energy, very impulsive, very action-oriented, very assertive. I know what I want, I know who I am kind of energy. So when Venus is in Aries, this is going to be the time to really assert ourselves in our personal relationships, making sure our needs are being communicated. This is not a passive aggressive energy. So this is now the time to make sure that your needs are being met in all of your relationships, whether personal or professional. The flip side of Venus in Aries is can be very impulsive, and make sure you're not trotting on people or stepping on other people's toes. So make sure when you are asserting your needs that you're doing it in a calm and collected, considerate manner. Be mindful of other people's needs as well. Okay, we have a full moon in Leo on February 9th. So that full moon will be about releasing the ego, releasing our limiting beliefs. Leo is all about self-expression and how we express ourselves, as well as fun, play, and creativity. So a lot of creativity emphasized this month. This full moon will be about releasing whatever blocks and barriers we have to our own self-expression. And any areas where you need to do healing surrounding a breakup or a disappointment, this full moon will be really good for that. Then we've got on February 16th, Mars enters Capricorn, Mars being the planet of action and personal will and drive. Capricorn is very career focused. Capricorn is a stable energy, so long-term focused, creating steps and plans of action that will accomplish a long-term goal. So it is a little bit more slower paced, but more calculated. Okay. So a really good energy to focus on, over the next 4.5 weeks, that Mars will be in Capricorn, a really good time to focus on long-term goals. But then Mercury stationing retrograde on the 16th in Pisces means it's not the best time to necessarily focus on long-term goals unless those goals are grounded in spirituality or in a desire for greater meaning or connecting with human beings. Again, as I mentioned, that's Pisces energy. So when Mercury is retrograde, it's hard to communicate clearly. It can be hard to be as logical or objective in our thinking. Mercury retrograde is all about going within. It's about inner reflection and review. It's about having meaningful conversations, listening to our intuition, connecting with the divine, wherever we find that and however we define that, okay? So our action with the Mars and Capricorn will be centered around finding a deeper meaning in the plans that we are putting into place for our long-term goals, okay? And then we've got the sun entering Pisces on the 18th, so Pisces season, woo! And then new moon in Pisces on the 23rd. So new moon's about setting intentions. So any intentions you have around creating a deeper, authentic connection with those around you would be really beautiful, or anything having to do with whatever house Pisces rules in your birth chart, okay? So that is February. We do have a Mercury retrograde this month. So let me go ahead and get started with fire signs, beginning with Aries. What is the energy or theme Aries will be working with this month? Think on your feet. Yes. So you guys, you Aries out there will probably feel this Venus entering Aries, because Venus will be there for 4 weeks. Venus moving through the house of your sun and whatever planets you may have there. It's going to be a very powerful influence for you guys. So you can definitely be more productive this month. Let me pull some tarot cards just to clarify. Okay. So I have the Death card here. Transformation. So transformation is definitely very possible this month, Aries, if there are some new projects you're wanting to take on or some things you're wanting to just completely change or renovate. And we know how much you Aries like to do that. You like to try new trends and try new things. So this transformation card is very much in line with that Venus entering Aries. You know, you have the goddess of love and art and beauty and money and our personal values on your side and in your sign this month. So transformation is definitely powerful this month for you. I'm not getting this as so much as a negative energy, which transformation and the Death card can be sometimes. This is a powerful energy I'm getting for you, Aries, like you can do it, you can make things happen. So lots of fire. So the fire energy in this card. We've got adventure. So you know, this may also be a month to just go with whatever you feel inspired to do. Again, Venus being that planet of creativity and art and beauty, you know, create, go on adventure, do whatever you feel inspired to do. This is going to be a month where you can really make some changes or make some headway in creative projects. Then I've also got Knight of Swords. So argumentative, combative. I think this has to do with, again, the tendency sometimes for Aries to be a little impulsive, which is great. It's what makes you guys so rebellious and risk-taking and innovative, right? But it's being mindful of that with all this fiery energy. Well, it's not a whole lot of fire energy. We've got Aries, but then we've also got Pisces. So it's going to be a little bit of a contradiction. Pisces wanting to just, you know, reflect and be calm and connect with others and go with the flow, whereas Aries is like, no, I need to move. So what I'm getting with this is try not to force things. That's what Think on Your Feet is all about. Go with whatever you're feeling inspired to do in the moment. So if you're feeling inspired to really transform or change something, do it. If you're feeling inspired to go out and have fun, do it. But if you are feeling inspired to start an argument with someone, or if you're feeling triggered, it's being mindful not to engage in combativeness. So it's more just being aware of your intention behind things and being mindful of how you're communicating with others and being aware of other people's needs as well. So I do want to get a clarifying card for that. What does this have to do with? Source energy. So yeah, it's going to be a very intuitively guided month. Mercury retrograde is all about going within and connecting with our intuition. So I am getting trusting in source and trusting in the natural flow of things, and try not to be in this state of conflict if things aren't going your way. If you are making an effort to change or transform and you meet with obstacles, trust that it is part of the divine plan. And so try not to fight it, because this is only going to create turmoil for yourself. And this energy is very much what can tend to happen during Mercury retrograde seasons for the whole collective, because it's like things screech to a halt all of a sudden and people get frustrated. They can't think clearly, they can't communicate well, they can't be as productive as they're used to being. And so we can get a lot of this tension in the collective sometimes. This is why Mercury retrograde gets such a reputation sometimes, not because it's inherently bad, but because it's kind of a wrench in the wheel, so to speak. It slows things down. So rather than reacting with combativeness to things not going the way you would hope they would go, instead trust and recognize that there's a reason things are slowing down. We're meant to be connecting with source. And so instead listening to that inner voice, okay, and maybe waiting to have some difficult conversations with people until the planetary energy has lightened up a bit, okay? They're doing construction in the apartment above mine, so I do apologize for the noise. Please bear with me. I'll try and talk over it. Step out of your comfort zone. Yes, I love this. So I feel like this is very much in alignment with adventure and transformation. So a lot of creative potential for you this month, Aries, to really just to have fun, to express yourself, to try new things, go on trips, travel, whatever you're feeling inspired to do, taking those risks this month. Okay, so stepping out of your comfort zone. All right. Last message for Aries. Through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. So yeah, I feel like that is kind of what is touching on this, right? So using this Venusian Aries energy this month to think on your feet, to be creative, to transform, but don't engage in conflict, because I am getting, it's going to be very activating for you, Aries, this energy, and it's going to be very passionate and fiery and a lot of creative potential. But the flip side of that coin is it can also be agitating, frustrating, aggressive energy. It's that inner fire that you Arieses have, right? You have this passionate inner fire, and so it's being mindful that we're channeling the inner fire as source energy into creative potency through your creative outlets, through your romantic pursuits, right? That's fire and passion too. So channeling it in those avenues that are going to bring you fulfillment, and not in avenues that are just going to create conflict with others. So if you start to feel that fiery energy tipping the balance in the other direction, just focus on meditation, prayer, and trying to be a positive, radiating sunlight in the world around you. Okay? A lot of creative energy for you Aries this month. All right, moving on to Leo. All right, Leo, we got a full moon in your sign on the 9th. So any areas where you feel like your self-expression has been limited, or anything that you're wanting to create more of in your creative pursuits, in your career, in your relationships, use this full moon in the middle of the month to really release any blocks and barriers that are inhibiting you, okay? So, theme for Leo this month. Yes. Overcome any obstacle. Rhino spirit, I love this. Rhino breaks through barriers, man. There is no obstacle too great to break through. Very inspirational. All right, let me pull a few tarot cards for Leo. Okay, so we have the Master. This is like the mystic, the spiritual master, the teacher, the wise one, or even just self-mastery. And then we've got laziness. So this is 9 of Cups. This is an interesting interpretation of 9 of Cups in this particular deck, because 9 of Cups is usually a card of wishes, wish fulfillment, it's desires, it's knowing what you really want to create going forward in your artistic pursuits as well as your relationships. So this is a card of getting clear on what you're wanting to create going forward, on what you're wanting to master. So I'm not taking laziness with this card, because for some reason that's just not what I'm reading with this. I'm reading this as the 9 of Cups is intended originally in the tarot as desire and wish fulfillment. Because then we've got 10 of Cups, which is the completion card after the 9 of Cups. And this is all about joy and bliss and harmony, because we've accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. We've, created satisfying relationships. So this is a really beautiful sequence, because here we have, you can overcome any obstacle in your path, no matter what it is, in order to achieve self-mastery. And the way to do that is through our closest connections, through recognizing what is really meaningful to you, what is worth pursuing, and pursuing that. And then as a result, you can experience greater harmony and joy. So really beautiful, positive message coming through for Leo. And I feel like this full moon in Leo on the 9th is going to help you to do that. Okay. Don't let your past hold you back. Yeah, so with this, what I'm seeing is the only real obstacle that needs to be overcome this month for you Leos is not an external one. It's an internal one. Whatever your limiting beliefs are about yourself, whatever your past is, past heartbreak, your childhood, whatever stories you're telling yourself that is making life harder for you or seem more difficult or more challenging to accomplish what you want, it's not really an external circumstance. It's the story you tell yourself, right? Your own internal beliefs. And those are the obstacles that we are pushing through this month, Leo. Because you can have this. You can have this harmony. And you can be your own master. But it's not about all the right circumstances being met outside of you. It's about your inner state. The stories that you're telling yourself. And don't let the past conditions or the things that have happened create negative beliefs about yourself or about what's possible. Love that. All right. Final message for Leos. Oh yeah. My faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. My faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. So it's letting go of the past, letting go of those old stories, and breaking through those obstacles so that we can have all of this beauty and joy and mastery. So you are the only one holding yourself back this month, Leo, and it's all in your head. Doesn't mean that it's not absolutely valid and real, whatever suffering you're experiencing or the challenges you're going through, but you have what it takes to overcome any obstacle. And so use that full moon on the 9th to release whatever limiting beliefs or fears you have. And then the new moon in Pisces on the 23rd, you can use that to then set some powerful intentions for what you're wanting to create going forward. All right. I hope you guys find that helpful. Last but not least, Sagittarius. My beloved Sagittarius. What theme are we working on this month? That wanted to come out too. So you're getting two. We've got co-create with spirit and use your mind wisely. All right. Let's see what this is all about. I'm going to pull a couple tarot cards for the crow and then pig spirit so I can get specific messages for each. All right, crow spirit. Oh, love it. All right. Page of Wands, 4 of Wands. So just playfulness. This is definitely a creative month for you, Sagittarius. So co-creating with spirit through playfulness, through fun, creativity, through creative collaborations, perhaps. And then we've got Queen of Pentacles. Flowering. This is a card of abundance. This is also a card of creativity. Queen of Pentacles is very similar to the Empress. She's this abundant, flowing energy. Look at all this beauty she's created around herself that nurtures and supports her. So very creative energy I'm getting for Sagittarius this month. So staying in that energy of playfulness and creative collaboration, feeling inspired. And then let's see what this pig spirit's all about. Very interesting. No. All right, so pig spirit, using your mind wisely, is about getting out of fear state. And this is the opposite of Queen of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles, the miser, is that fear mindset, lack mindset. I don't have enough. I'm never going to have enough. I'm in that state of anxiety and anxiousness and grasping, right? We don't want to be in this mindset because this is not how we co-create with spirit. Because if we are in this energy of I don't have enough, I have to reach and crave and pursue in order to get my needs met, we are creating this wall, literally blocking out spirit and intuitive and creative flow. In order to co-create with spirit, we have to be in the flow, in the present moment, surrendering to whatever is coming through. And we can't do that if we're building this wall, because we're in fear and lack mindset. So use your mind wisely. Because we've also got healing. You know, what I'm seeing with this is interesting. It's almost like this hand is covering this man's face. So it's like the source of your creativity and flow this month is not seen with the eyes, but it's felt with the heart, if that makes sense. So you can't be relying on your vision, on what you are seeing around you. Like if you're not seeing any opportunities for growth right now, or if things are seeming stagnant based on what you're perceiving around you, it's like you can't rely on that, because things are coming to you from the horizon that can't be seen. So it's almost like putting your hand over your eyes and trying not to see where the next opportunity is going to come from, but feel it and know that it's coming. That's kind of what I'm getting with this. So don't rely on your sight, on your vision, your external vision. And then we've got the Magician, right? This is a card of manifestation. This is a beautiful interpretation of the Magician, because this card, which is about manifesting and creating our own reality, is very much paying homage to the universe and the galaxy and the stars, that we can't really manifest by ourselves. And it's recognizing that life is a co-creation with spirit. Right? Whatever you desire to create or manifest or produce or experience in your life, you're not completely alone and on your own to figuring that out, right? Nothing that you create on your own is entirely 100% yours, because there were influences or resources or people that came to you that were sent to you by spirit. Okay? So you can manifest this beautiful world around you by co-creating, but in order to do that, be mindful of your thoughts and of fear and lack mindset. Right? This doesn't mean that we neglect the fact that there are bills to pay. It just means focusing on the present moment and allowing the present moment to tell you what next step to take, and trusting that your needs will be provided for. Okay, so let's get a Moonology card. Sagittarius. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn. So relief is coming. If some of you have been struggling, I'm seeing spirit is telling you that relief is coming. Things are going to get better. Given that this does say Capricorn, I'm willing to bet this has something to do with Mars entering Capricorn on the 16th. So for some of you out there, perhaps you've got significant planets in Capricorn in your chart, or somehow this Mars and Capricorn energy is going to help bring you relief and bring you abundance. So just trusting that relief is coming. The end of a tough cycle approaches. All right, final message for Sagittarius. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. It's a pretty card. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. So again, going within, kind of covering your eyes. Sorry about the construction, guys. I've got people renovating up ahead or up in the apartment above me, so please forgive the noise. But it's covering our eyes and recognizing that we're looking inward through the lens of love, and that is where we will find the resources that we need. Okay? So that is the reading for our fire signs for February. I hope you guys found that helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next month.